Hi guys, today I'm going to show you my tomatoes that I grew on my allotment, and tell you a little bit about their flavor. So we're going to start from the favorite Polish tomato variety, which is an oxheart type. We call it bawole serce, but it just means oxheart. This is my favorite tomato. The taste is very balanced. It's a bit of a sweet and sour, and generally very lovely. I'm going to cut it in half and show you what it looks like inside. It's a very meaty variety, very little seeds. If you want to save your seeds, this is the one you're gonna work hard to get some. And yeah, smells very nice. Very much like old heirloom tomato variety. This is an open pollinated variety, obviously, and I'm going to taste it and tell you a little bit about my experiences. But what I'm talking about in the video, the Polish version, is that it's very individual and everyone likes different flavors. For example, some people like sweet tomatoes, some sweet and sour like me, some like sour. So don't get influenced by me, just try for yourself. That's what I'm talking about here. And finally, I'm tasting it. Yeah, I like it. But the weather was very rainy and cold, so all the tomatoes that I picked are not the best. They're obviously better when the weather is more sunny. The next one I'm picking, that would be crushed heart, and I wasn't very impressed with this one. Last year I had problems with my tomatoes being affected by an herbicide in the manure, and this tomato was very small and had a concentrated flavor. And this year everything seems to be going well with tomatoes, and they don't taste that good. They're not very sweet, they're not very flavorful, so I'm quite disappointed with this one. They look okay now, though. They look quite nice in the shape of a heart. But the flavor was disappointing this year. So yeah, I'm showing the cross section of this tomato. It is meaty, but not as meaty as the oxheart one. Okay, I'm tasting it. Doesn't smell as strong as the oxheart. I don't think I like it. Maybe if the weather was better, more sunny, it would taste much more flavorful. The next one that I'm going to show you is Black Beauty. This is a true black tomato, but it's sort of black and red. Nice deep flavor. Not all of them are ripe yet. I'm showing you those that are unripe. They're quite small this year. But yeah, I like this one. It's not the best flavor, but it's quite deep. Oh, it's a wasp that is trying to eat my tomatoes and me. So I don't think it was a good idea to record this video on the allotment, because there was lots of insect trying to sit on me. And that's what it looks like inside. I've already saved the seeds of my favorite tomato varieties, and this was the one that made a cut. Yeah, I like this one. I quite like it. It's deep, smoky, quite nice. And here I'm talking about getting seeds, open pollinated interesting varieties, which we in the UK and people in Poland have troubles with. We don't have very many places to get the seeds from in the UK, varieties such as Black Beauty or other interesting ones. And another tomato variety I'm going to show you is Gourmandia F1, which is another one that I was disappointed with because of the flavor. Flavor was not really deep or very much intense. It's kind of bland. It looks nice, obviously very decorative tomato, but for the price of the few seeds that I got in a packet, this is not really worth growing, and you can't save the seeds because it's an F1 variety. So I'm not going to be growing this one again. It's juicy, but it's really bland, and I don't really like it. You can see from my face what I think about it. So yeah, nice shape, but flavor very disappointing, unfortunately. What are we going to see next? This is Thornburns Terracotta, which I got the seeds from Baker Creek. The skin is very tough on this one. The flavor was okay. This is the first year that I managed to actually grow them. There's not very many fruit on it, and the skin kind of is annoying. So I'm not sure if I'll be growing this again, but I saved the seeds, so maybe. So I'm telling my Polish viewers on my other channel where do I get the seeds from. So I'm talking about Baker Creek, that I can get this variety, and also Barry's Crazy Cherry. And finally I'm cutting it in half to show you what it looks on the inside. It is ripe, but the seeds are still green. But I guess this is the variety that just looks like that. And obviously the weather influenced the flavor this year because it was cold, it was raining for a month, so the tomatoes didn't develop very sweet, deep flavors, because for that they need some sun. And in the UK it's not always the case that we have any sun at all. The next one I picked up is also Oxheart, another Oxheart, and this is one of my favorite, Fio de Rio Gordo. It's an excellent beefsteak tomato. I got the seeds from the Real Seeds, which is a website of a farm in Wales. They grow veg and they sell open pollinated heirloom seeds. It's excellent. It's so meaty, it's so heavy, the fruit are so big, and the flavor is also excellent. It's a wonderful tomato. So what I'm talking about, I'm just explaining how to get seeds, what sort of ways of getting seeds there are, because it's not always easy to get those nice varieties. Let's see what it looks like inside. Wonderful, meaty, but also has quite a lot of seeds to be saved, which I've already done. So I'm growing this for the last 3 years, and I'm going to continue forever because it's a wonderful tomato. Most of my tomato varieties, the seeds, I got from the Croatian website that sells them, but to do that, because the UK is not in the European Union, I had to order it to Poland, where my parents live, and they sent it over to me to the UK, which took about a month, but I got the varieties that I wanted. So people in Poland have issues with accessing seeds, and I have issues with accessing seeds. Hopefully the situation will get better soon. I know there is a Tomato Revolution website, for example, that we can get the seeds from. The next one is my most favorite tomato variety, Lucid Gem. When they are unripe, they're yellow, but when they ripen, they turn orange and purple on the shoulders. I have a few that are not quite ripe yet, so I'm waiting for those. But look at these beauties. They are so pretty, and the flavor will shock you how good it is. It's so nice, I can't even explain it. Inside it looks quite meaty. I saved the seeds of this one because I just need to have it every year. There was a website called Tomato Eden, which was Polish but had an English version, and that's where I got the seeds from, but they've stopped selling because of some legislation that was introduced in Poland regarding selling seeds, so they can't do it now. But this one, oh my god, if you have access, please get it. And what do we have now? A bowl of cherry tomatoes. What do we have? Brad's Atomic Grape. This one, if it's ripened properly, the flavor is complex. It's sort of fruity, very interesting, very deep. I mean, it's one of my favorite cherry tomatoes. When it's unripe, it's green inside. When it ripens, it turns sort of reddish green inside, and you want to eat it when it's not overripe but not green. That's when the flavor is the best. You need to squeeze the fruit to see if it becomes soft. That's the time to pick it, but not too soft. Now I think I'm cutting the ripe one to show you that it's sort of half red, half green. It's very nice tomato. Yep, I like it. And now I'm just explaining how good it is. Sungold is my staple. I grow it every year for many years. Don't even have to taste it. Honeycomb F1 is similar in flavor, a little bit different shape, but the fruit doesn't crack from a lot of water. I grow both, and I like both. They look similar, they taste similar. It's the sweetest cherry tomato there is. If you want to invest in any cherry tomato, get the Sungold. This is Pink Tiger, and surprisingly is quite a good tasting tomato, in the shape of a plum. very nice, very nice. Lots of green ones still on the plant, so I'm hoping for some more of these. I like it. There is also a green tiger, apparently also very tasty. Barry's Crazy Cherry, quite disappointing this year because it's not as sweet as last year. As I said, last year I had an issue with herbicide contamination, and they were smaller. They got over the contamination, but they were much smaller and the flavor was much more concentrated. This year they grow properly, there's lots of them, and they need to lie a bit in the kitchen to be sweeter. But as I say here, one plant will feed the whole town, so perhaps it's worth growing. This is lemon grape, quite nice flavor, I must say, sweeter than Barry's Crazy Cherry. The only thing is it's quite late fruiting. Only a few of them ripened. It's quite slow to ripen, but the flavor is very nice. What else do I have here? Lots of different cherry tomatoes. Have sweet aperitif, quite nice. Sugar drop, sweet and sour, nice as well. Principe Borghese, this is the one for sun-dried tomatoes. Nice flavor as well, surprisingly. It's a dwarf variety. Santonia F1 doesn't grow very well, but I have issue with watering. Rubilicious, also nice. Lots of cherry tomato varieties. Okay, not all of my tomatoes ripened yet, so watch the space. If there is an interest for more videos about tomato tasting, I'll make them. Bye!